Welcome back to what Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is a KV-2. It's a Tier 6 Soviet heavy and it's located on the north spawn of mines under the command of Anders 6. Now it's armed with a 152mm howitzer. It's based on the hull of the KV-1 and well, it's quite troll. It's quite fun tank to play. And this one has Stalin on the side. Yes, he normally guides the shells towards the targets, but yep, this one actually has a picture of him on, and that's thanks to Sir Rusty, who designed this skin. Okay, well, Anders 6 is taking him off towards the east side of the map to the castle area, and an enemy's turned up straight away at T-52. This is a tier 7 game. He's tier 6, so he's mid-tier. 357 matchup, and alongside him is an Oni. So this is going to be a dirt fest on this side of the map. And the first enemy heavy has turned up. It's an M6, and the 6 getting ready to derp him. 910 hit points of damage. Oh, if he didn't get nudged by the Oni there, very unhelpful that. You really ought not to do that sort of thing. You know, nudging your teammate when they're aiming at the enemy is the height of bad manners. And he missed a shot there on the M6, which means that he's taken up position behind the Oni. So he's going to use the Oni as a sort of like, oh my god, just like that. He got a derped him, got the kill. Only 194 hit points, but it still all counts. Yeah, he'll just sit now and use the Oni as a shield. And unfortunately, we've got an enemy tank above us on the castle. A T-52, he managed to get to the castle grounds. And from that position, I'm not sure we can elevate our gun enough to get a hit into him. Well, he knows that we're aiming at him, and he's pulled away. He doesn't want to get hit by that howitzer. Now the Soviets actually put the howitzer in the vehicle so they could knock down the bunkers that they came across during the Finnish War, the Winter War in 1940. The Finns had a number of concrete bunkers called the Mannerheim Line, after the famous General Mannerheim, and the Soviets used a howitzer mounted on a tank to actually blow them up. And here we've got a T-43 not paying attention, but the shell misses him, and so he gets away with his life. Only just though. It can't penetrate a huge amount of armor. The gun's got penetration of only 86, but most of the tanks it's up against have got that sort of level of armor. The P-43, yes, he could probably pen that, and if he can do the full alpha, 910, it's a goner. Oh, again, he just misses it, goes flying past the front wheels, the drive wheel. It's a long reload, 20 seconds. That's why he's just sitting around waiting for it to be loaded. He's looking off to his left because the T-34-100's been spotted over there, and Arty's aiming in that direction, and that's why you can see the down arrows. And there he is. It's one of those T-34 constructors, which is the Czech version with a 100mm gun. And they're quite deadly. That 100mm gun can penetrate most tanks, especially a KV. Now, if I remember correctly, that is a tier 7 medium tank, that constructor. Okay, now I think he's thinking of moving around these buildings to try and have a go at that constructor. But he's conscious of that P-43. He doesn't want to get shot in the side. Oh, and he derps the T-34-100 and goes in for the ram, and ram kills him. And I think that's a Kamikaze because it's a higher tier tank killed by a ram. And And the enemy Arty's trying to get him as well, and that's an M44 AMX13AM or a PP. And there's the P43, and he puts a big hit into him for 278. I'm not sure if that was a penetrating shot, don't think it was, but the enemy's actually made it to our cap area. Don't think the other guys in our team were actually able to survive long enough, and we're now being hit by the PP on the enemy team, as well as that tank, which is a super jumbo, the M4 assault version. Getting ready to shoot him, and he's derped out of existence. Well, we did take some damage from him, I'm afraid, but 2 shots, 251 hit points of damage. Oh, and now the PP's onto us as well, and we've been stunned by the M44. And you can see the PP's knocking down the buildings to get at us. So we're moving, changing position. The Oni's gone back to try and deal with the other enemies, and he's had some success so far, but the enemy's lost sight of us, so that's why the shells have stopped raining in. And we're headed south, although we have been spotted by someone, and it may be that P43 Biz. And to avoid any Arty shells, we're staying behind the building until we go unsighted. Knocked that building, or that vehicle down, so that's why he pulled back just at that moment, because he thought the Arty might respond to a sudden destruction of property. Okay, he's headed back to the cap. Oh, we just lost the Oni to the enemy DP. That's why he wasn't firing in our direction, but we did manage to kill the IS-2. In fact, our Panther got him, which means now the enemy forces comprise that P43 Biz that we hit earlier, and the 2 Artys, the M44 and the PP, the 105 FH-18B2. Panther's gone into the castle grounds, but I think he's looking for that P43 Biz. And the 6 has gone over to the west side. He just wants to check and make sure where that P43 is, just in case he's gone the other way. Oh, we know where the P43 is now. He went up the south approach, and there he is. And we've been spotted, so enemy shells are going to start raining in from their Arty. You can see our Panthers moving to the attack. And that's an Arty shell, yep. And it's another one, so they are focusing on us, not the Panther. So the enemy's probably... Oh, there's another one. That hurt. 79 hit points. That's probably a direct hit. Now, can we derp this P43? Yep, got him. Now it's just the Artys to kill. We did take a round from the P43, so we're down to 202 hit points. And that's more than enough for the enemy Arty to take us out. But they've lost sight of us now, so it's just speed south as quickly as we can. Unfortunately, that Panther's also got low hit points, which means he's also vulnerable. And there they are. The M44's moving at the moment. And the PP's staying put. So I think we're going to take this hill, go round the left. Oh, we just lost the Panther. The M44 derped him. So this is going to be difficult now, because we aren't going to be spotted any second. In fact, I think they know where we are. They blind fired at us just then. I think that may have been the PP. He fires around in. Oh! And the PP fired back. We just don't know where the M44 is, because he's over the other side. Now, it might be advisable for us to go around. Yep. And the M44 has turned up, so he now knows where we are. And it looks like he's trying to derp us as well. And... Yep, He's gone. Bad choice. He stayed still too long. He should have turned immediately. I've done a handbrake turn. Or keep moving until you can drive up to the KV-2 and shoot them in the rear. Because of course this tank has a very poor turret traverse. So the faster you can move around it, the more difficult it is for the KV-2 to get his gun to bear on you. So the M44 made a critical mistake there, trying to hide behind the rock and stay there. And here comes the Fifi. He's decided not to stay where he is. And oh my god, we missed the shot. Now he's got a 105mm howitzer against a 152mm howitzer. And are we going to reload in time before the Fifi gets to shoot us? Well, he's bounced the shell off us. And this means doom for the Fifi. Yes, he's gone. 260 hit points. Wins the game. Very nice. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats. And it's the first class tanker for Anders 6 in the KV-2. He got a shell proof for blocking more damage than the hit points of his own vehicle. A kamikaze for destroying an enemy tank by ramming it, which was a higher tier, and that was the T-34-100. He also got a duelist, a fire effect, and a bruiser medal out of that one. But best of all, here comes the epic medals. For killing the M44 and the Fifi, he gets a Pascucci's medal. For blocking the most damage in that game, he got a steel wall, and he also killed 6 of the enemy, so he picks up a Top Gun as well. Let's have a look at the win 8, 3828. So it's a very decent win 8 from that game. Let's have a look at team scores. Well, he didn't get the highest amount of damage in that game. That went to the Panther. He picked up the high caliber, even though he was killed at the end of the game. 2,495 hit points of damage, so he definitely gets that one. Then came the Oni. Even though he was a nuisance and nudged us as we were aiming, he managed to get 2,003 hit points of damage, going back to try and kill the enemy heavies that had made it to our cap area. And then Anders 6 in his KV-2 managed 1,680 hit points out of that game. So he certainly did do very well, came third on damage, but when it came to kills, he was top. He got 6 kills, the Panther got 4, and then there's a bunch of tanks with 3 kills, the M44 and the IS-2. And when it came to base XP, he was top of the table, 1,127 base experience points. Then came the Panther and then the Oni. He fired 12 rounds in that game, got 7 direct hits and 3 penetrations and 4 splash. Damage of 1,680 hit points, and all of it was at close range. He received 11 hits from the enemy, so he just qualified for the steel wall with that last shot by the Fifi that hit the armor and bounced off. He had 3 penetrations and 6 non-penetrations, and 4 hits as a result of splash damage from the enemy Arty. He blocked damage of 1,180 hit points in total. He damaged 6 of the enemy, killed 6 of the enemy, and on a free-to-play account earned 22,115 credits. After repair and ammunition resupply, he actually took away 12,904 credits. He got 3 bonds for getting the Pascucci's, the steel wall, and the Top Gun, and he also picked up base XP of 1,127 times 2 for the first victory, took away 2,254 experience points altogether. So, decent round in the for a first class in the KV-2, and it was tense towards the end because when you're facing 2 Artys, if they both work together and come at you at the same time, then it can be very difficult to kill them. But as I said, the biggest mistake of all was actually made by that enemy M44. He sat there, turned and tried to traverse to bring his gun to bear on the KV-2. If he'd actually driven down and used the fast speed of the M44, he would have been able to outturn Anders' 6 turret, and that would have enabled him to get up behind him and derp him in the rear before he could do anything about it. So, biggest mistake by the M44, but it paid off for Anders 6. So, if you enjoyed that replay, please give it a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.